you know what I say about dress code? You wear long pants, you wear a shirt with sleeves, and maybe a skirt, and that's it, and you have gym clothes. We're not talking about dress code now, but I'm saying if we have the will and are willing to take some of our resources, we can make every school, not with a mandate, because unlike fundamental, we can't make kids leave, and I know the fundamentals do everything to try to keep them there, but we can do a lot more in every school. But having said that, I still favor looking at Lakewood. But I do understand we want to do it right, and I do agree that the big picture has to be done the right way. And I'm all for listening to our constituents, but I'll tell you what the listening sessions will tell. Right. We'll say, North County, they want access. I live in Seminole. If you're in Seminole, there's no problem getting to those South County magnets. Seminole is lucky. It's not that far. And South County wants to keep what they have. Not against listening tours, but I know what we're going to hear. Mm-hmm. So I think we have to make some decisions ourselves as a board. And maybe we can combine looking at everything but doing something this year.
Great. Good point. Who's next?
I'm last. I think part of the get or done kind of thing is let's make our decisions, let's look at the data, let's move forward. But I'm going to say again, we need to do it in a timely way, and we need to do it with enough thought that goes into it. I'm going to equate it to when we remodeled our house. We took the time to decide what we were going to do, planned what it was going to look like at the end. Then we moved out for 8 months. Tore walls out. You could see from one end of the house to the other and down to our neighbors. And we put it all back together, and we're happy with it and have been happy for several years, and it's met our needs as a family. We as a school district need to do that same kind of thing. We can tear all of the walls down. We can look at what we're going to do as a district, make those plans, and then move forward, putting those things in brick by brick, school by school. We have some extra facilities right now that we can use for some of these kinds of things, but I don't want to be changing every single year and putting families through turmoil. So I don't want to be talking about this time next year. I want the decision made. I'd like to see our decisions even made by February or March of this year so that we know where we're going. So that maybe even we could do some trial runs, what would have happened if kinds of things as we're putting people in place. But I think we have put people through enough in this county year after year, kind of bouncing them around and deciding what's happening. So let's do it right. We've heard from a large number of people that want the fundamental high schools, but even within that, we have heard we need one North County, we need one South County, we need one Mid County. There's not even continuity within that. We've listened, we've heard, the numbers show that that's very probable that we need something else. Where's the best place for it? Where will it best accommodate? And that, I think we have to work with fervor to decide where we're going. Not just talk about it at this one, and then we'll talk about it again in February, and then we'll talk about it in June, and then come September of next year, now it's time to really start doing it. Let's figure out what we're doing, move forward, and get a year to put every piece in place, because there are going to be hurdles. There are going to be things that we just didn't expect at all, and move forward with it.
Done?
My next. Okay.
Ms. Hayden.
I'm hearing two things. I'm hearing, we need to accommodate Osceola. We need to do it now. The focus should be at Lakewood. The focus should be in South County. Then I'm hearing, possible listening tour. I see it as maybe a twofold solution. There's a short-term solution, and then maybe something that's more long-term in terms of maybe a 2-year plan or a 3-year plan. Short-term solution would be, okay, how do we accommodate, if we feel that we need to accommodate this fundamental seat, the desire to have the seats in the fundamental schools, what are we going to do in the immediate? What should we do? Should we look at something in South Lakewood, or should we just accommodate, Osceola where it is now? But the second thing is, then how do we encompass the fundamental, the IB, and all the types of other ideas that we want to do on a whole countywide basis? Ms. Brown, I think the issue was talking about the listening tours. oftentimes we hear from parents or the constituents that say, well, why didn't they consult us about this, or why didn't we get a chance to talk to them? You can never be faulted for doing, I believe, a listening tour, because
I don't want to disagree.
Well, the point I'm trying to make is because part of our going into what should we do countywide, the importance is making sure that we have connected, we have reached out to the community, we have given them an opportunity to put their input, and we get their buy-in on fixing the solution. The board, voted. We take onus of the board of what the board voted a couple years ago to implement what has happened today, and now we as a board move forward to fix whatever decisions that were made, and we reach out to the public to be a part of fixing the solution. We're never going to make everyone happy, but at least we're doing our best to reach out to make the situation work. So the way I see it, at least the way my mind looks at it, is the short-term immediate plan, and then maybe the 2-year plan. So we are having it sort of more of a balanced approach in that we're trying to get her done, at least for what Robin's looking at. But if we go with what Peggy has stated about looking at all the other programs, we're getting more time. We're giving ourselves more time, and we're implementing a plan to do it. That's kind of the way I look at it.
Okay. And
Okay, so I won't say anything again because I.
good. Thank you.
No, I'm talking right now. Wait a second. I am. I mean, after this.
I
is
thought
my
you meant
last
you weren't going to
statement.
repeat yourself.
I am going to repeat myself.
Oh no.
You can repeat yourself as much as you want.
And we'll ignore it.
The best.
Some will and some won't.
Best
Not
renovations. The best renovations. And I appreciate the visual. You can't tell me a renovation that you don't do in your home or anywhere that there's not a change order.
Exactly.
It's just part of it. That's why we're doing it. I'd like to see, I don't think, we've heard from parents, I'd like to see whether it be within a school, North County and South County. I'm proposing Dunedin for North County. We've heard from some of their parents, we've heard from the principal that we do a fundamental school within a school, and we can even do the same thing with Lakewood. That's what I'd like to see it done. I'd like to see it done starting this next school year. I'm done.
Finished?
Yep.
Okay. And then I'm going to ask Dr. Jansen if she could give us her thoughts on what she's heard from all of us.
Well, this is really exciting because it is.
I figured it was. I see
In my
that.
previous life, I was the creative magnet queen, and I worked at lots of districts, and the one that won
her
the
a
Broad
crown.
Prize. I started there as a consultant developing the magnets, and they did do the pre-K 1 and the 2, 3, 4, and then the 4, 5. I mean, really, and they've gotten to number 1. Yeah. So we can come up with ideas. Jim and I were just looking at our wait list all the way from elementary. Yeah. And perhaps it's time to think of our schools that are truly struggling and maybe put something in those schools in South County that will revitalize them. Yes. I think we need to go for some of the stimulus money that's out there and use the STEM initiatives. I think we need to bring lots of math and science. We have great partnerships going with UF on a STEM initiative that they're going to come and present to you on December 8th. Lots of money is coming in to do those programs. The SRI is the math piece that we have. So let us have some time to put our heads together, and then we'll give you something before Christmas. I know we don't have another workshop, but you have that training time with John Just, and we'll have something ready for you at that time. So.
And I
I
would.
think we need to talk about what we're going to do at that workshop. The 3 hours was kind of thrown in, and I think we have some things maybe that are more important.
Okay, you want to make it into a workshop?
Well, let's
Well,
leadership discussion.
I haven't even seen the workshop topics
No.
There
list,
isn't any.
so there are no workshop topics.
Technology, 9 to 12.
Okay.
Well, this,
I'll give you the.
whatever
Okay,
was
well,
left over, but.
Okay.
So I think there are lots of things that we can bring you. And, you need to be able to weigh the pros and cons. And Ms. Weichel, the thing that nobody dares say is the thing you let out and then you swallow.